It sets in. You start to get shivers and chills. And as your body temperature drops, pretty soon you go beyond that shivering state, and now you start to have slurred speech. Your thinking process is delayed. It's almost as if you'd had a few too many drinks.
What is surprising to most people is how fast hypothermia can occur once a human body is immersed in water temperatures of 91 degrees or less.
It may not feel cold at first, but your body over the course of a period of time will not be able to produce enough heat to maintain its body core temperature of 98.6 degrees. Even in warm waters in the Caribbean, where the water temperature is 88 degrees, boaters, kayakers have been immersed in the water for 5 or 6 hours and have shivered uncontrollably.
Another misconception about hypothermia is that vigorous exercise and movement in the water is the ideal way to keep warm.
That is absolutely not correct. They will feel warmer because the heat that they are generating is going to the surface, to the skin, to the muscles, because they're working, and will give them the perception that they are warm, when in fact they are losing heat to the environment because of all that activity.
This infrared camera is measuring the heat signature of a man and woman before they enter the water. The red and green and yellow areas show the different heat temperatures and blood flow near the surface of the skin. After 20 minutes in 60-degree water, they are measured again. Although their core body temperature has not been lowered, the solid blue color demonstrates that the areas near the skin have lost all their heat. Using an infrared camera, we can tell that the immediate effects of heat loss are obvious in the critical areas of the body. The thermostat is the newest device developed to help hypothermia victims. It fits like a sleeve over the lower arm and then is sealed at the elbow. Heat-producing gel and a vacuum pump will then begin the process of warming the blood and circulating it from the arm to the heart. Within minutes, heat signatures are visible in the arm, shoulder, along the neck, and across the back and chest. By getting warm blood to the heart faster than previously possible, hypothermia victims will get immediate help in restoring their core body temperature.
When he applied the vacuum, that's when it really started to feel warm. The fingertips felt real warm, almost to the point of being uncomfortable right at the fingertips. And up the rest of the arm warmed up pretty quick. And over the next couple of minutes, actually felt like my arm and my shoulder up into my neck actually felt warmer.
In survival situations, however, technology is not a replacement for personal responsibility. The most important rule in survival is never forgetting that personal safety remains the responsibility of the individual.
Being in cold water or an outside cold environment is not pleasant. It's really easy to give up. Struggling to stay alive longer can be painful, so that intangible will to survive certainly plays a really big role in surviving hypothermia.
No, I never expected something like this could happen, but it happens. It can happen to anybody, and when it strikes, you got to just do what you got to do to survive.
For vacation and relaxation, many will encounter rip currents, which can pull them off their feet and sweep them out to sea.
Well, a rip current is a mass of water that's generated on a beach by a set of waves that come in and build up a lot of water at the edge of the beach, and finally gravity takes over and that water mass has got to return to the sea level. The water mass goes along channels and looks for a deep spot, and it flows out like a river at sea, and it picks up velocity, sometimes 5 or 6 miles an hour, which is at a speed faster than an Olympic swimmer can swim.
Every year, thousands of people drown or become near drowning victims in the ocean. 80% of the rescues at guarded beaches in the United States are because of rip currents. A rip current is a powerful force, but a difficult one to recognize, even if a person knows what to look for.
An undertow is kind of a mythical term. It suggests that there's something in the water grabbing you by the feet and pulling you down and out to China, so to speak. We can sit down, we can draw pictures of rip currents, you can read books, but until you actually get in one and feel it and see how overwhelmingly powerful it is, you'll never really know.
The power of the rip current lies in its water flow and its ability to wear down its victims until they are unable to stay above water. This can happen to anyone, regardless of their fitness level.
You're exerting so much energy to stay afloat. Your mind is racing, your heart is racing. As the panic deepens, and your decision making gets really poor, you may even find yourself swimming out to sea or back out into the rip current.
Rip currents aren't particular in who they kill. They can kill anyone. We've had deaths from college team swimmers, 100-yard swimmers, people who have competitive times internationally have died in rip current.
Spotting a rip current can be difficult, but the trick to getting out of one is surprisingly simple.
What you need to do when you're in a rip is swim parallel to the beach. Many signs you'll say drift to the end of the rip current and then out of it. Well, why drift out 300 yards when maybe at 150 yards you remember, yes, swim parallel to the beach and then back in.
A rip current is only powerful if it remains ignored or misunderstood.
When someone arrives at the beach, they should do a little situational awareness. They should know if there's rip currents in the area. They should know what the tide situation is. Is it coming in? Is it going out? They should also know about the longshore currents, the currents that go parallel to the beach. Once you're in the water, you never fight an ocean current. You always go with the flow.
The way that'll kill you is to go back against it, which unfortunately is people's natural inclination, is to get out of the rip current the same way they got in. That's the killer.